So let's say you want to control your GPIO pins directly from the file system without using any libraries or anything. It is actually really simple. The first thing you do is go to the sys folder if you're a file system, then you go into class, and then it's GPIO. Here you have multiple files. These GPIO chip files are of no interest to you, but basically the export and unexport files are used to export GPIO pins and unexport them, meaning you basically introduce them so that you want to use them. And in my case, I will just stick to using GPIO pin 26 for this example. So quite simply, what you do is echo the number of your GPIO pin into export, and then a subfolder appears. You can go into it, and there are multiple parameters here, but the two that will be most useful to you are direction and value. So direction is basically saying whether the GPIO pin is set to input or output. Right now it's set to input, and you can just echo out into it, making it a output. So right now it is a output, and we can actually change it to 1 by echoing 1 to value, and it's changed there. Same as we can make it 0 right now. There you go. That is all you have to do to control GPIO pins. Good practice. If you are done with a GPIO unexported, do echo pin number to unexport. Then it's gone. With this in mind, we can automate things. We can put this into Python, JavaScript, whatever you want. So the way you can actually make things work is I'm going to clear my screen. I'm in my home directory, and I will write a Python script for blink. And here you want to basically run a infinite loop where you turn the LED on and turn the LED off. But before we do that, we might as well export things. So let's say we want to run echo 26 into sys class GPIO export. So how do we run this in Python, you might ask? Very simple. You put it into these brackets, and you have to import OS, which basically is responsible for running bash commands from Python. And you type OS system brackets and the command you want to actually make true. And what we did here is we basically exported pin 26, so it exists. Next thing we want to do is we want to make it a output. So same directory, almost GPIO 26, and the file is named direction. So we change mode to output. Okay, great. So our GPIO pin is ready to be working. So here we can do the same thing. We can OS system echo 1 to sys class GPIO, GPIO 26, no, sorry, GPIO 26 value. There you go. Your pin is turned on. So turn on, and then you have OS system. Same thing. Okay, but since this loop is like going through really fast, you won't see it blinking steadily, so we need to introduce something that will make the program sleep. Built-in feature of Python, import time library. What you can do is basically say time sleep 1. This means the program will halt for 1 second. Same here. Basically, let's go through this again. Python imports the OS so we can actually run bash commands from this Python script. It imports time so we can make the program sleep for 1 second so we can actually see the blink happening. Then we export pin 26 so we can actually work with it, and then we make it a output. Then we create this while true loop, which basically runs the blink infinitely. Then we turn the pin on, we sleep for a second, make the program wait for 1 second, and then we turn it off. Then we wait for 1 second and the loop goes back again. And just so we can monitor this, I suppose we could actually do something like OS system and just see the value. This will basically print the value of that GPIO pin at the given moment. Okay, great. I suppose that's all. I will not introduce on export here because it makes the program a bit more, it makes the script a bit more difficult, but basically we can try to run this. We do python 3 blink.py and there it prints. And this is the actual state of the GPIO right now. If you would take a voltage meter, you would see that it's just changing through 3.3 volts to 0 volts. And it is as simple as that. You might ask, why are there all these libraries then if this is so easy? Well, the minor inconvenience of this is that these GPIO pins generally need some kind of a shutdown. So we go back there. Our Python script is off right now. We ended it. But we go back to the directory and we see that GPIO 26 is still there. We can see that it is still set to be output and its value is 0. It just happened to be 0. We might as well exit at the point when it was 1. If we exit it at 1, then it would just stay as 1. So basically GPIO pin libraries, they make sure they set the value to 0. They might as well make the direction input, and the last thing they obviously do is unexport that pin by simply echoing 26 into unexport. That is my pin number, obviously, and GPIO pin is gone. And you have to make sure you do these things if you are going to write any GPIO programs with this method. So I hope that helps, and thank you for watching.